Hi there, Fred here. I hope everything is well for you. For the last video of the year, I'm in London, as you can see, and this video will be all about gifts. First of all, let's go back to March, when I converted all of Pianobook EXS instruments to DecentSampler. If you don't know what this is about, Pianobook is a community of composers and musical enthusiasts who share sample packs and virtual instruments for free. I converted 103 instruments from EXS Logic Sampler to the free and multi-platform DecentSampler in order to have these instruments available for everyone. When I was working on these instruments, I knew this would be appreciated by the musical community, but I wasn't ready for the amazing response you gave me. I received dozens and dozens of messages from all over the world. It was an amazing moment in my life, so thank you again very much for this gift. I did some additional EXS to DecentSampler conversions for Pianobook over the year, like the cassette tape organ, an instrument I really enjoy. I took the liberty to create this graphical user interface where you can blend and pan the different sounds of the instrument. So check out these free instruments and many more on pianobook.co.uk, and don't forget to leave some reviews. Another thing I am happy to share with you is this instrument I sampled for the Pianobook Christmas calendar called Ideal Bouzouki. This instrument is a gift from my friend Tom. You can read the full story on the Pianobook website. This instrument is actually quite difficult to play. The strings are way too high above the neck and the pitch is drifting over the range. So the virtual instrument is much more pleasant to play with. I sampled it with 4 dynamic layers, 2 round robins, both fingered and plucked. I also made some pads with it and built them into a pad designer with 6 different signals to blend and pan. Feel free to download it on the Pianobook website. It is free and available for DecentSampler, meaning you can use it on PC, Mac, Linux, and even on your iOS device. All of this was made possible by the excellent work of DecentSampler creator Dave Ilowitz. Over the year, Dave made some great improvements to DecentSampler. Let's hear more about it with Dave himself.
Hi, I'm Dave Hilowitz. So I wanted to give a little update on the stuff I've been working on for DecentSampler. When you think about a piece of software like this, there are really 2 classes of users. There are the people who are using it for composition, who have it loaded into their DAW, and they're using it every day to make music. Then there are the sample creators, or the publishers. When I make updates, I try to think about both of those groups of users, and I try to do, one for the users, one for the publishers, one for the users, one for the publishers. I try to alternate. On the user side, the stuff I've been working on is mostly related to stability and library management. Basically, I just want to make sure that it's as easy as possible to manage your library. There are always going to be weird edge cases, but I'm trying to really reduce the number at this point. Over on the publisher side, I've got a bunch of new features. I am working on modulation sources. So this would be like additional ADSR envelopes, LFOs. And these are things that will be able to modulate any parameter that currently can be controlled within the engine. So that's in the works. I'm also doing R&D on the possibility of having multiple outputs. So the dream is if you have something like a drum library that was recorded with a bunch of different mics, you could have each of those mics routed to a different output on the plugin, and then you can mix them in your DAW using whatever plugins you want to use on those different tracks. There is another kind of cool thing, which is that under the hood right now, there is this secret window that allows you to see what it is that the sampler actually sees. All the groups are listed, all the samples are listed. I am going to make this visible to the public probably in the next month or so. Right now it's read-only. You can't use it to edit your samples, but one step at a time. Okay, I think that's it. That's what I've been working on. Take care.
In my last YouTube video, I told you that I now own the full version of Kontakt 6, and this version comes with Creator Tools. This application opens some possibilities to design more complex Kontakt instruments or graphical user interfaces, but it also unlocks some capabilities like converting Kontakt sample data to something readable by DecentSampler, thanks again to the work of Dave Ilowitz. So a few months ago, I was contacted by this gentleman called Kyle.
Hello, I'm Cal Bradshaw. I'm a student from Northern Ireland, and so far for the Pianobook community, I've converted around 80 pianos from Kontakt to DecentSampler for Piano Day, and I've converted a few John Mayer presets as well.
So Kyle had this idea, try to convert a maximum number of Pianobook instruments from Kontakt to DecentSampler. He asked me if I would help him in this massive task, and I was happy to do it. So for the past few months we did a lot of conversions. So how many instruments did we convert? Well, Kyle will give you the answer in a moment, but first, how do I convert an instrument from Kontakt to DecentSampler? Well, let's do it together with a Pianobook instrument. This is not a fully automatic process, it's more like a recreation of the original instrument. Kontakt is more than just a simple sampler, it has dozens of very advanced and unique features. And when a Kontakt instrument relies on these features, well, it can be tricky or almost impossible to convert it to DecentSampler. So one important part of the conversion is to understand how the instrument works by looking at the way it is built. I chose to convert Pizzicato Cello. It's a quite simple instrument by Paul Vincent, but it will need minor adjustments at the end to be fully converted to DecentSampler. So let's dive in. So first step, load the instrument into Kontakt. Open Creator Tools. In Creator Tools, I load this LUA script. This was created by Dave to get all the data from the Kontakt instrument to something readable by DecentSampler. I made some modification to the script to optimize my workflow. Click here and boom, everything is ready. Then I create a new folder with two subfolders, one for the samples, one for the additional resources needed by the instrument. I will get to that in a minute. Then I copy and paste my template of a DS preset. This template is named VTRAR for volume, tone, reverb, attack and release. I chose to go with these 5 values because I think these are useful options to adjust. But sometimes for more complex instruments I can modify this template a lot. All I have to do now is to copy and paste the data from Creator Tools to the DS preset. A minor adjustment to do with this particular instrument is to set the round-robin sequence. All I have to do is to add the sequence mode at groups level and set the sequence position at group level. Then for the background image, I used one of the pictures provided by the samplist. Open Canva, a free online picture editor, choose one of the previous background images I made, duplicate, rename, load the image, edit it, put the Pianobook logo back in place, change the name of the instrument and export. I then copy all the samples in the folder of the same name and the freshly made background image into the resources folder. I like to put all the additional files like the README file in this folder too. I add the name of the background image in the DS file, and now it is time to test it. It feels the same, it sounds the same, so I think we can say the conversion here is a success. With the right instrument, the conversion is quite simple and straightforward. So if you make a Kontakt instrument for Pianobook, you should consider create a DecentSampler version of it in order to make it available for everyone. So I said earlier that Kyle and I did a massive number of conversions, and because it is Kyle's project and because he did more conversions than me, the honor to tell the final number of converted instruments should be his.
So the final number of submissions from Kontakt to DecentSampler that Fred and I have completed is 222.
It was also Kyle's idea to release all these sounds for Christmas, so here is our gift for the composers community. For me, this year has been all about reaching out. It took me some effort to try to step out of my comfort zone, try to make these videos in English, which is not my primary language, and I'm thrilled to see that you are more than 1,000 to follow me on this channel, so thank you. The culmination of this effort to reach out to this sisterhood and brotherhood of composers is this. I had a chance to participate to Spitfire Audio Composers Walk. It was a delightful moment with some brilliant and kind people. All these connections give me a lot of new ideas and projects to share with you next year. Of course, more conversions and more free stuff coming up. So if you want to support me in my work, please check my Patreon page in the description of this video. Thank you for watching this video to the end. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I wish you all the best for this new year to come. Take care and don't forget to make the music you love. Have a nice day, bye bye. Bloopers. Test. And... Elle va être dure à sortir celle-là. It is free and available. Silicate. Oui, le chat. C'est compliqué, Worth. Merde. Oui. C'est bien. C'est bon.